Welcome, everybody. I want to give you a few do's and don'ts based on my experience and my learning curve and my mistakes. And I want to open it up for a conversation to everybody. And I don't know whose that is, if that's somebody needs to mute. I'm going to. Nope, it's not. Can't figure out who it is. Well, I'm going to move on. There we go. We got less noise. So anyway, I'm Michael Anderson. I've been involved in Isagenix for a little over, actually, today is my 3-year anniversary when I started. And along the way, I started by sharing before I knew I was going to do a business. And I started making money. And that's my end. Sorry, there's a jet going by. And along the way, I watched what other leaders did, and I copied, and some things worked and some didn't. And I want to go over a few things that didn't, first of all. But to start with, I want to do a screen share. And I don't know if it's D or who, but somebody needs to mute. We got a lot of background noise. And I'm going to close my window because that jet is really loud. That's better. Anyway, so there's lots of places to go online for good stuff on where to learn about podcasts, about posting on social media. The Isagenix official podcast. This is one I pulled up just doing a Google search. I put in social media posting Isagenix, and bam, that's what I came up with. And so this is a great podcast that Amelia and Danielle do. But there's lots of people out there that really know social media. I was looking for the one in the back office, but things have moved and I couldn't find it. But there is a training about how you do 10, 4, and 1 is kind of the formula. 10 about how great your life is, 4 that are kind of general that relate to recipes or some way tie into Isagenix without being business oriented, in one power post. And that's the formula, however often you post, whether it's posting, say, 15 times a week, or whether it's 15 times a day. Some people go extreme and do that many a day. But anyway, as a rule, you don't want to overpost. In the beginning, I kind of did 10 for 1 opposite. I did like lots of power posts and lots of stuff. And that's not to your advantage. Here's a place that I have gone to over and over. It's Zach and Eden Slovin's website. It's called Our Easy Training. It's gone through an amalgam of URLs. Right now it's edensolomon.wixsite.com, Our Easy Training new menu. It used to be oureasytraining.com. So you have to look for Our Easy Training, maybe put in Zach or Eden Slovin. But this is how they duplicate with their team. So menu, why? Start here, discover your why, share your why. Experience your why, deepen your why, duplicate. How? Get paid, develop your story. Peak and pass, which is how to get interest. Social media. So social media, if you go to that, it shows you how to attract people on Facebook. And it talks about establishing yourself as a leader. That is the key to branding, and I'm not the expert. I've just tried a lot of things. So my goal is to show you some things, share what I've learned, what not to do, and talk about what to do and have a conversation. And especially with Fiona on there, hopefully she'll be able to give some feedback as well, because she has just kicked butt on social media. But establishing yourself as a leader, as an expert, or as someone of authority is key to attracting your prospective clients and, more importantly, your prospective business builders. And here's kind of the elephant in the room. Isagenix says share, 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 like a lot of network marketing companies do. And they say keep it easy, which you need to do because everybody needs to duplicate. But if you don't establish an authority out there somehow, people aren't going to be attracted to you. So I've tried different things, motivational stuff, humor, stuff about the environment. I posted a thing today about how depleted our soil is and the percentage of rise of medical issues, diseases related to a lowering of minerals and different ingredients in our food that we eat. So I've tried a variety of things. I love to come back to humor because that's something I appreciate. It's something most people appreciate. Today I also put up a video of a dog and cat hugging because people love warm, fuzzy stuff. So anyway, that's a place to go as well. And in the back office, and is everybody seeing? I forgot to ask, is everybody seeing my screen?
No.
No, because I did do a screen share. Interesting.
Am I the only one that doesn't see it?
I can see it.
Okay. Okay,
it's probably just me.
So in your back office, you have resources, which has ISA tools, which have some things. Some of them are free, some are not. Sales tools, that takes you kind of the same place. But over in Training Center, it has also some good stuff. But under resources, let's go to sales tools, and you'll see the Training Center used to be where it all was. Now it's kind of been moved around, so I'm still learning some of these myself. Yeah, that's not what I'm looking for. They used to have some great training videos and different things, and I'm not seeing them now. But under resources, you can go to quick links, because as all these links have changed, and as they change the website, you can find immediately quick links to English, Spanish, Chinese, French for different things. Price lists. That's still not what I'm looking for, though. But under these trainings, these are all great places. Step Up to Success, to Rank Advance, the 90-day game plan, which just started again. You can download it if you don't have the book and go through trainings. Mobile Solutions, Business, Compliance, Help Center. Let's go to isagenixbusiness.com. So here's what I was looking for. The links have changed. Sorry about that. So start here. You share, they share, repeat, right? Basic. Launch. What does 90-day game plan look like? Training. Talking about different upcoming trainings, tools. So you've got PDFs, websites, videos, podcasts, mobile apps, events, lots of resources in English and Spanish. A comprehensive list of all of the Isagenix websites. The Isagenix YouTube channel is a great place to go, because if you're sending people videos and you're not using the IsaTools app, you want to make sure you send them videos that are linked to the Isagenix channel on YouTube, because if you've been around this at all for any amount of time, you grab something off of YouTube and the video after it is Isagenix a scam or something like that, because all the Isagenix videos kind of run together from people that have done different things. There's different language ones in here as well. Okay, I'm going to stop the share. That was a really quick overview of some stuff. Unfortunately, I was hoping to have about 10 more minutes to get set up and some links I found at school where I work. And getting home, I wasn't able to pull them up. But branding yourself on social media, you either need to come across with authority, or more importantly, here's what all the people who make a lot more money than us say, is you need to provide value. You need to provide value. So whether it's humor, recipes, showing exercise movements, teaching, whatever it is you're into, find your niche of what you're into and learn and teach about it and provide value. So consistency with, for me, humor, motivational quotes, things that touch me. I try to consistently, don't always achieve it, but I try to consistently give those things out because people are looking for them. And anything you can do to provide, to get a response. You don't want to post highly emotionalized political type posts or things that are going to really polarize people unless you're very, very careful. But you want to create a dialogue. So some of your posts, you're going to want to have a response. Like I put up, if you guys remember the old card machines before debit card, ATMs and stuff, they're about this big and you go with the carbon copies for the business cards. I put that on my page today saying, basically saying who remembers this, because that will create a reaction. Oh yeah, I haven't seen those in years. Or asking an open-ended question, or saying, hey, I'm looking for a car and I'm going to be buying a newer car. So I said, hey, Tucson peeps, who here knows someone who could help me purchase a vehicle? So anything that creates a dialogue is great. And then providing value, whether that's motivating or inspiring or making people laugh, whatever it is that how you provide value, that is key to attracting your audience. But you don't want to attract the wrong audience. Like I did a lot of inspiration videos forever, and what it drew me was people who were like, "Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate. It makes my day every day. I get through my day watching your." No, you don't want to attract those people who are so broken that they just want to hear a good word for the day, and oh, thank God I listened to you and I can get through another day. So you want to make sure you attract the right audience. That makes sense?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, and some people muted, and I'm trying to unmute here. I'm going to open up the lines, and now we can just kind of have a chat and a Q&A. So, got a couple screens of people. I see 6 at the moment. All right. So, what have been your experiences with social media? What have you learned? What have you tried? What has worked? What hasn't? What questions do you have?
Me personally, I'm working on trying to build a library of like things off Pinterest, or even some of the stuff, Michael, that you posted. I do screenshots and trying to save some stuff for the future that I can post, like different exercises or recipes. But before this, I didn't get that kind of stuff, and I wish I was funny. So I'm trying to look for those kinds of things on the internet. So I'm trying to build a collection of isogenic material.
Good. So here's one piece of advice, which is wear your headphones, because you have your speaker playing and we're getting echo while you're talking. Even now I'm hearing echo of me. Aaron, I think it's Aaron. Are you listening to speakers on your computer?
Yeah, I'm just in a little office.
Yeah. So all that is echoing, like when you call a radio show and you got the radio playing. So just as far as like Zoom calls or whatever, that's why I'm wearing my headphones rather than listening to my speaker. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, I'll mute mine.
But when you have a question, raise your hand or something. Yeah. So I have a OneDrive, and I store stuff on my OneDrive. Somebody else is not Aaron. He's muted. I have a OneDrive, and I collect things. I put them under photos. I put them under business. Yeah, it wasn't Aaron. You're right. I can't see everybody on here. I see 5 people plus me, and there was like 8 on the call, and I'm not seeing. But somebody needs to mute.
I left mine at work. Hurry up. Thank you.
If you're not speaking, please mute. I can't tell who that is. That's better. Okay, so it wasn't you, Aaron, I don't think. Anyway, so what is, Fiona, what is something you do to provide value?
So I don't know that I really do anything specific. I sort of, I started in social media when I was a blogger, so I kind of got in the habit of just sharing a lot of things. So I just share my everyday life. I work out all the time, and I sort of, if I relate to a saying or a quote or something, I'll post that. I think for me, it's just kind of just being relatable. So I just post who I am. And I think people know that I'm sort of, sometimes I'm funny, and sometimes I disappear for a while because I don't feel like being funny. But I mean, I think for the most part, I think it's important to just kind of be who you are, because when you're more authentic, it comes across. And that's kind of the experience that I have. I do think that there are types of posts that you can make that are more engaging. And those are the posts where you ask a question. And, I saw Heather posted something really great the other day where she was asking local people where they work out. She's looking to switch up her workout. And so she was asking a question. I think anytime you ask a question like, I can Google who does the best hair in town or whatever, who does the best whatever, but people love sharing. People love to share who they use as a painter or, sorry, I do have a noise in the background tonight. But they love to share what they do around town and who they use and what their opinions are. So I think if you ask questions that are related to things that you have an interest in, you kind of pull people out of the woodwork and start conversations. That's kind of been my experience.
Yeah, being authentic, being aligned with who you are, which means if you have these values but you're living this way, being aligned with who you are, because people feel when you're not aligned with who you are if you're not living what you say you are online. And certainly engaging people for their opinions, that's network marketing. That's networking. That's asking, who would you go to? So for people who are even, is this a pyramid scheme? It's a way to validate we all have people we know who provide good services, and we can ask and we can share, and people love helping solve problems and giving advice. Absolutely. Jody, are you willing to come out and share some of what you've done?
Well, mostly I've been very inconsistent lately. So I do kind of the same stuff that Aaron was talking about with creating a library. Like, say, when I see, like, Fiona has posted something, or, Stephanie or whoever, and it's a post that I like and I think I could use at another time, I'll save the picture, and then I have a Word document where if I liked in particular what they posted in their words, then I'll also save that in a Word document. And I just kind of have that saved under, possible posts, that kind of thing. I steal a lot of Bryce Atkins stuff. He's my trainer. And so, yeah, I like, because he just uses all the little emojis and everything that I can never find to use. So I'll save all of that. So then it's just kind of done for me. So I don't think it's necessary to totally reinvent the wheel, because if other people are doing things that you liked, then if you posted it, a different audience is going to see it and they may like it too. So that's kind of what I do, but I'm trying to I started that, what was that 10-4-2 thing? Is that right? 10-4-2? With the posting, like 10.
Yeah, 10-4-1, 10-4-2, yeah.
Okay. And then the power post, because I tend to do the same thing, is I have too many Isagenix posts and people just kind of ignore me. So I'm trying to get away from that and trying to post more about just me and things that are going on. The problem is my life's a little bit boring. It's work and home. So there's not really a whole lot in the gym. And I see people posting pictures of themselves at the gym all the time. I just totally feel like a dork standing there trying to take a picture of myself at the gym. I can't do it.
One of the best people at that is Annie Medina.
Yeah.
She'll go to the gym and she'll take photos that day, and then she'll spread them out over a week or more.
Oh, okay.
Or I learned this from her, like when you go to Celebration or an event, she'll take lots of pictures, but she won't just like cluster bomb everybody with those pictures. She'll put them out over months, which is a brilliant strategy to keep sowing those seeds, like a Throwback Thursday or kind of a post.
Okay, great. I'll write that down.
This is great from Beth in the chat. When you share photos on your Facebook page, be sure to add it to an album labeled creatively. Otherwise, it goes straight to your timeline photos, and it will be harder to find later. That's great advice.
Say that again, Michael.
Let me pull it up again. It's in your chat. When you share photos on your Facebook page, be sure to add it to an album labeled creatively. Otherwise, it goes straight to your timeline photos, and it will be harder to find later. It will also help others find the info you shared easier. Like for me, I have an album labeled Puntastic. So I guess for her puns, so she can find them. Some people plan their posts. I wish I could say I do this, but some people plan their posts for the whole week or for a month ahead of time. And they use Buffer or some other app where they put them all in, and they're all go off at different times. And you can study the different hours that work for posts, usually early morning, late evening, because the early risers and the younger folks tend to be up later. Those are great times to post. Some say it's between 6 and 7 at noon and at 5 or 6, but I also have seen people say at 10 and at 2 are good. So you have to kind of play with the formula also of, was it a bad post that I didn't get a response, or was it the timing of when I put it out there? Because sometimes I have posts that I post in the evening, and I have them that keep coming back up on my timeline for 4 days because people see them, so it's kind of a hit and miss thing. You also need to regularly touch your friends. As you're growing your list of friends, you need to like and comment on their pages, because if you don't and move around to different friends, you're going to have a limited scope of people that see your posts. And another one is, excuse me, I have, last I checked, around 170 Facebook friends that are Isagenix related. I have about 2,300 friends. I had about 500 friends when I started Isagenix. I've been building my friend list up. But I've more recently quit taking friend requests from other Isagenix builders, unless they're key players, because if they're liking all my posts, that's who I'm feeding. That's who's seeing my posts, is fellow Isagenix people, and they're not going to buy products from me. It's the other group. So you can follow them, and they can follow you, but if you keep adding and adding and adding a ton of Isagenix friends, then that's who's going to be watching your posts. So that's a little word of caution too. Give me, got a frog in my throat. You only have 226 Facebook friends total. Yep, time to step it up, Jody. And here's a mistake I made early on. I just friend all these networkers. It's like, wow, you know, they're a real estate person or they're this or that, and I've got these friends, and I have all these friends that I know very little about because I haven't built relationships with them. And we know from the Facebook training, if you went through that with Jim, and in the Facebook boot camp, you know, you learn that relationships are everything. So whoever you connect with, you also need to build a relationship with them. Because I could probably name, if I went through my list, I could probably name 500 people out of that 2,300 that I really don't know, and they all have mutual friends that I really don't know. And somewhere along the line, they had a few friends I knew, if that makes sense. So as you build your network, you want to make sure you build that relationship, because with all those people, I'm not really tapping into my network yet because they're not watching my posts. So I've been going back to those people and liking and commenting to bring them into the fold and build those relationships. Any other questions or comments? Anybody want to share? I got another chat here. Adding hashtags help you find things easier too. Yes, they do. Forgive me. So what I do, it's what works for me, is I post in Instagram, because you can post to, I have my own page that I try to attract people to with Instagram that has some Isagenix type related stuff, some motivational, some network marketing kind of stuff. Can't say it's made me money, but I have a following, a lot of my friends there. So it's tied to my Twitter account, and so when I post on Instagram, I can post it to 2 Facebook pages, and to Instagram, and to Flickr, and to Tumblr, all in one little click. So that's what I'll do often in the morning, and I'll do a post to LinkedIn every day, and my LinkedIn posts are motivational or network marketing related. And I've slowly been building people into my network who are fellow networkers because of LinkedIn, because they, you know, they'll ask me because they want to help, they want to solve my problems, right? And they'll say, how's it going in your business? Would you like information about how to automate or whatever? And so building up that clientele of networkers, LinkedIn is a great place to do that. Another one is, my name is Michael Anderson, so I can't brand myself anywhere on social media because there's lots of Michael Andersons. But if you have a name that's not as common, you can brand yourself. Like I ended up branding myself on Instagram and all, you know, Twitter and all those as What's Your Joy, because I'm always talking about living a life of purpose, passion, calling, and joy. Living life out fullest, living life without boundaries. So that's kind of my little hashtag. But I know a guy, his name is Brad Cole, and there's a couple Brad Coles, so he is, I am the Brad Cole. You know, others are like, OMG, Brad Cole, or whatever, you know. So you can also use your name, because your name is everything, and you can start putting your name in all of those accounts you have, put it everywhere, even if you're not using them, because then you lock in your name to use across all of social media. That's something I was unable to do with name Michael Anderson. Okay, so that's a good one to know too. Go ahead and unmute, and let's just have a final, there's only a few of us left, Q&A or share out any last minute thoughts.
Michael, I like that idea about saying, like for your name, my name's Aaron. So there's several Aaron.
Yeah.
I saying I am Aaron or something like that. That's a good idea.
Yeah. And the sooner you look, the sooner you get it.
That's right.
It'll be gone tonight.
Yeah.
So primarily I spend my time in Facebook, which is what they recommend. You pick one area. I mean, I've done Periscope, I've done lots of different things, and I spread myself so thin. I was doing lots of stuff everywhere, but it wasn't quality. And I focus on Facebook, but I do put out, like I said, in Instagram, Twitter, and LinkedIn. So it's sprinkling of stuff in case something is brought to me. And then ultimately, anybody who's been in this business long enough, I know Fiona will agree with this, ultimately it's belly to belly. You're not going to post and pray and get this huge amount of people saying, yes, I don't know you, but I want to come and I want to be your customer. You know, that's post and pray. That's passive marketing. And it's getting people that are interested onto a message, then to a phone or a messenger call, because then you have the passion in your voice and all of that, which helps them.
I will say that it's really easy on social media though to meet people. I mean, like some of my best friends I met on social media.
Yep.
I met Chris Bird on social media. I mean, some of the people that I know to this day have been friends, really good friends with for about 5 or 6 years. Because I think when you make a connection with somebody, they're not necessarily your neighbor. I mean, you don't necessarily live right by all the people that you have the largest connection with. So yeah, and people laugh. I mean, I used to do eBay, and I have this group of friends from my eBay days, and like our kids have all grown up together, like, but online. But I really think that's where the relationship building comes from. It's not just hang out and broadcast stuff. You have to actually have daily conversations with people.
And you're not selling product, you're providing solutions for problems they have.
Yeah, but I'm never selling a product. Literally never selling the product. But if you have a conversation with somebody long enough, that clue that they, you know, we talked about clues last night on my call, you know, they drop clues, and that's when you can provide those solutions.
Absolutely. I have a gentleman who his wife started. She has colitis, rheumatoid arthritis. She's dairy and gluten intolerant, and has allergies to even stuff like kiwi, which is an Ionix. And she started on the dairy-free stuff. She slowly tried the stuff, including Ionix. Worked for her. She lost like 20 pounds. She feels great. Her husband, obese, diabetic, has had a couple of heart operations. And this week, he comes up to me at church and says, I'll tell your boss, I'll tell anybody, and I'll claim it's Isagenix. He said, I went to my renal doctor, and he said, you know, you had stage 4 kidney disease. He says,
I forgot.
normal.
It's
It's normal.
It's not for you.
And he went to his primary physician, and he said, you are no longer a diabetic.
Wow.
But I didn't approach him first because I knew he was a no-sell. I approached her because she wanted some energy. She wanted to lose a little weight.
Back, buddy.
And then she started slowly giving him the bars. Then he tried to shake, and slowly, you know, it happened. So that was not because of selling anything. It was because of that relationship over time. All right, I'm trying to scratch my brain. There was one other thing I was going to say. Oh, well, it'll lose me. Anyway, we got about 3.5 minutes left. Any other questions or comments?
No.
What's one of your takeaways from? I listened to Fiona's call
You're not
this morning. It
getting
was
sauerkraut, are
excellent.
you? 'Cause I didn't make enough for you.
Are you kidding me?
What's one of your takeaways this week from the Zoom calls?
I will get headphones for sure.
And I don't think it was you. I just muted D. I think it's D.
No, I see the value in it though. It'd be nice to have. Because
And it's not consistent. Some computers you can do it and there's no problem, but others
Mine keep getting
you'll just hear
stolen.
that loop. Yeah. You what?
Mine keep getting stolen.
Yeah.
I had like 3 sets, and they're forever going missing.
You got to be yourself. You got to be yourself. You have to admit when you're having a bad day, or not always be the motivational person with all the great quotes that's always positive, because people need that, but they also need to see that you're real and authentic, and have doubt and other things, because that's part of being authentic. So it's not about creating a persona that you aren't. Although you do have to grow in personal development to be the person you need to be to attract the people you want if you want to build the business with business builders. But that's how you think, not changing who you are ultimately.
Mhm.
So is everyone here going to Celebration this year?
I
I can't wait to meet you all.
I know.
I still need a roommate, but I've told everybody if I have to sleep in my car, I will be there.
Oh,
It's hard for guys to find roommates. All the women get together and roommate, and the guys are like with their wives or single. And so it's kind of a weird, but I will be there.
good, good.
All right, well, thank you guys for tuning in. I hope you found a few things of value this evening, and this will be posted. So if you have any people that missed it, you want to tag them later, it'll be up on both Game Changers and Game Changers Business in a little bit. Thanks,
Thank you.
and have a wonderful night.
Good night, guys. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.